Hello, class. How are you? Um, I'm your instructor for this accounting course. My name is Andrew DeJoseph. I've been teaching at Nassau since 1984. I retired as a full-time teacher a couple of years ago, and I've been teaching part-time since then. I've taught these courses many times over the years. So the purpose of this video is to introduce myself to you first and then to introduce the course. So why don't we get right to that? Just bear with me. It's been a while since I used Zoom. Okay, so we want to get into the course, right? And to do that, you've got to sign into the NCC website and then sign in using your ID and your password and all of that. If you forgot how to do that, it's here, it's the My NCC, and then you just sign in, right? It'll ask you for your password. Okay, so now you come to this screen and we want to look for NCC online. Now I know I'm faculty, so my screen some of my screens might look a little different than yours, but I think most of it's the same. So you're looking for NCC online. Click on that. And now you should get a list of all your courses where your instructors are using Blackboard, which I'm assuming is all your instructors. And if we come down here to summer 2022, this is us, ACC 201 OLA, that's our class. And remember, this is an online class, so we don't have any face-to-face meetings other than these videos, which I may put up from time to time. So when you first get into the course, you're going to see this announcements area. And, you know, during the past day or so, I've been sending out announcements to you one piece at a time. I was just assigned the course over the weekend. So I was working over the weekend to get it ready, and I was able to get it ready and set up for you by Monday morning. Now the menu on the left-hand side, this is where you access all the information that you need. So announcements is where we are right now. We also have a course outline. Now the course outline is a document that's produced by the Department of Accounting and Business at the college. And the most important thing to get from this, I guess it's all important. The textbook, right? We're using the 10th edition of Intermediate Accounting by Spiceland, Nelson, and Thomas. And McGraw-Hill is the publisher. I'll talk a little about that a little later on. We're not going to have any term projects or anything, so you don't have to worry about that per se. You know, a lot of a document like this is written to be used like universally in all different types of classroom environments. The Learning Center, I sent you an announcement on that. We can talk about that in a little while. When I made this document, I did not have the hours. So that's why it says the hours are to be announced. Withdrawing from class, if that becomes a problem, we'll deal with it. For an online class, the way you withdraw for any online class, right? Not just mine, is to sign on to Banner, and there's a link, and you provide some information, and then they send it to me for approval. So if you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to withdraw, it's all done online. There's no face-to-face signing documents or anything. What's most important in this document are the topics that we cover. We're basically going to cover the first 11 chapters in the book. Now think about it for a second. This course is a 10-week course. We're going to cover 11 chapters. That's a lot to do. That's a lot of work. Comes out to every 4 or 5 days covering another chapter. Right now, I think I found a way to make that doable. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But basically, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about covering 11 chapters in 10 weeks. Chapter 1 is different from what you're used to. You know, you took accounting courses and you were making journal entries and preparing statements and analyzing things and using math and numbers. This chapter is all theory. So I don't even think you see any numbers in the chapter. They're words, right? So you're reading all these different accounting principles. I think there might have been 1 or 2 chapters in the accounting 1 and 2 course that dealt with accounting principles briefly. But this goes into a lot of detail about accounting theory. This topic here called the conceptual framework. That's what I'm talking about. Chapter 2. Now, chapter 2 reviews everything just about that you learned in Accounting 101 and 102. Everything packed into one chapter. Think of the accounting cycle. Think of preparing journal entries and posting them to accounts and doing a trial balance and then adjusting, right? And then preparing the financial statements and then going through the closing process. That's what chapter 2 deals with. Since chapter 2 is really a review, it doesn't appear on the exam. You will have homework in chapter 2, but chapter 2 will not appear on the exam. Right, then we get to chapter 3. Balance sheet. Chapter 4, the income statement. Chapter 5. Chapter 5 deals with a topic called time value of money. You briefly learned something about time value of money when you studied the long-term liabilities in Accounting 102, if you remember that. And then you have your first exam. Then instead of going to chapter 6, we go to chapter 8. Chapters 8 and 9, and then exam 2. Chapters 8 and 9 are inventory, right? 2 chapters devoted to inventory. Then we have chapter 6, which is revenue recognition, which is a very hot topic in accounting. Chapter 7, which is cash and receivables, which is kind of not a terribly complicated chapter. And then you have exam 3, chapter 10 and 11. Both chapters 10 and 11 deal with property, plant, and equipment. Right? And then exam 4. So there's no comprehensive exams. Each exam is separate and they kind of stand on their own. Right, so, you know, it's important to know the chapters that we're covering. It's important to know the textbook that we're using, right? So those are 2 of the most important things to get from the course outline. I would print this out, I would keep it in a safe place, and I would really read it carefully over the next few days. The syllabus. Now, the outline is a document prepared by the department, right? It's meant to distribute among all Accounting 201 students in the college. This is my document. That says ACC 101. It should say 201. Sorry about that. This document is probably more important than the outline because this is my, I hate to say rules, but it's the way we're going to run our class. So here's information on the class. Best way to get in touch with me is by email. Those phone numbers, there's really no one around answering phones these days. So if you want to get in touch with me, email is the best way. Don't contact me through Blackboard. I know there's a message feature in Blackboard. Don't use that. Just send me an old-fashioned email. Okay, so here's information on our course. Homework makes up 30% of your grade. Then we have quizzes based on videos that you'll watch. That makes up 10% of your grade. And then we have 4 exams. Each exam makes up 15% of your grade. That's the 100%. All work is done on Connect. Now, if you took Accounting 1 and 2 in the last few years at Nassau, you already have a Connect account. So you just have to register for our course in that Connect account. You need to buy the textbook, naturally. I think you have to do that first. But once you get the textbook, and ebook is fine, you don't need to get the actual physical book. Then you register for our course. Here's just a note on sending me emails if they want to reach me. I try to get back to you right away. If it's over the weekend, it might take me a little longer, but during the week, as long as I have a few hours notice, I try to get back to you. How is this going to work in terms of sitting at the computer and comparing and completing your assignments? When it comes to homework, you have unlimited attempts and you have an unlimited amount of time to do the work. I believe homework, you shouldn't be restricted at all. You should have as much time as you need, and you should have as many attempts as you need to complete your work. The videos, quizzes. Now, these quizzes are mostly multiple choice. I say mostly, I'd say 90% are multiple choice. There's somewhere between 5 and 10 questions per chapter. You get 2 attempts. Now, if it's a multiple choice question and you've got choices A, B, C, and D, and you got 2 attempts to answer it, right? That should make it a little bit doable, more doable. And you've got 60 minutes per quiz. The exams, you get 1 attempt and you get 100 minutes to complete the exam, just like you would get if you were sitting in a classroom taking an exam. Our classes are 100 minutes. If you remember, I don't know when the last time you were on campus. For me, March 2020, that was the last time I set foot on campus. Okay, now this is very important, right? You should print the syllabus out, but this page, you should really, I don't know, print a few of them out and put them in your various places, your wallet, your backpack, your whatever you carry around with you, because this is the whole course laid out. Now, what did I do different here? Remember I said before that we're covering 11 chapters in 10 weeks. So that's like 1 chapter every 5 days or so. That's a lot of work. And you'll be constantly under the gun if we do it that way. So what I decided to do is rather than do one chapter every 4 or 5 days, let's do 2 chapters every 10 days or so. Right? I think that's a lot more doable for you. It gives you more flexibility. You're not constantly under the gun. I don't like that feeling of being constantly pressured to have to do something, right? You need to breathe, right? You need to be able to live once in a while. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do two chapters every 10 days or so. Okay, it may not come out exactly that all the time. So the first assignment is due on June 9th, which is a Thursday. And on that day, you'll have to have finished the chapter 1 homework, the chapter 2 homework, the chapter 1 quiz, and the chapter 2 quiz, right? Wherever you see concept video, that means quiz. All right, so it sounds like a lot of work. And if you had to do it all in one day, it would be an impossible amount of work. But over a 10-day period, if you try to get a few things done every few days, you'll be okay. Let me put it this way. You're going to be working all the time. This is a difficult course. In my opinion, it's probably the most difficult course in the entire accounting curriculum, right? That's just my opinion. So you got a tremendous amount of material to cover in a relatively short period of time. You should be working on this every single day. But every once in a while, something will come up. Maybe you won't feel well. Maybe there'll be an emergency. Maybe you'll have a family situation to take care of. So you shouldn't be under that constant day-to-day pressure. But as far as due dates go, right, we have to stick to the schedule. There's no makeups. There's no postponing things. Everything has to be done when it has to be done because there's just no time. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So the first assignment, chapters 1 and 2, due on June 9th. Then on June 21st, chapters 3 and 4. And then chapter 5, which is due on the 25th. All right, I had to do it that way. I had to break it up that way. Because we have, there's 4 chapters on the exam, but we're doing 5 chapters to get to that point. June 27th, exam 1, chapters 1 and 3 through 5. Remember, chapter 2 is not on the exam. Chapter 2, you do have homework and quiz, but chapter 2 is not on the exam. Right? So pay attention to this. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing to you, but pay attention to it. I thought this out very carefully, and I really tried to, work with the days. Now, notice the due dates are different. We have a Thursday, a Tuesday, a Saturday, a Monday, a Friday, right? So the due days are not always the same date. If this was a normal semester, I try to do that. I try to make a chapter due every week, and I make it due on Sunday. So this way, if you don't work on weekends, you have the weekends to do the work. But we don't have that luxury in the summer because we just have to get things done in that time period. The last day of school is August 4th, and that'll be your last exam, not final exam, right? It's your last exam, number 4. Exam number 4. Okay. All right, so what about the book? You have a link here. Oh, before we get to the book, if you look at the rest of these links, there's one for the Learning Center. I don't know how familiar you are with the Learning Center. With the pandemic, it was kind of crazy. If there's a memo here that talks about the Learning Center, this is another document I would print out. It gives you Zoom links for the people that work there and the hours that they're available. So, you may want to do that. I don't know if you used the Learning Center before. It has a phone number there. I think there is somebody physically there. I think if you wanted to, you could go there. I would call first though, before you did that, just to make sure there's somebody there. Okay. This is where the homework, the quizzes, and the exam is. Now you see a link here for extra credit. That's not available to you. That's something that we would do during the regular semester because we would have more time. But again, since we're stuck for time, that doesn't apply to you. And I don't think you would see that. Again, my screens are slightly different than yours, so I don't think that's something you would see. PowerPoints, this is something you can access if you want. If I were teaching this to you in a face-to-face class, I would probably use some of these PowerPoints. PowerPoints are based on the book. They kind of just summarize what's in the book. So I don't know if you want to read these instead of the book and see what you can get out of it. There's no substitute for the book, though. And again, let's talk about that. You know, accounting, by now you know, accounting is not like a lot of other subjects. You just don't sit there, read a book, and then just answer some questions. It's painful, isn't it? You're reading a few pages at a time. You're looking at a diagram. You're looking at doing a problem, right? And then at the back of the chapter, there's a homework problem that usually deals with the same thing. So you don't read an accounting book cover to cover. You read it topic to topic. That's why it's important when you're looking at that course outline, you just concentrate on the topics that are shown on the course outline. We don't cover every topic in every chapter. In fact, if I were you, what I would do, since you have unlimited time on the homework and attempts, I would go to the homework first, and I would see the problems that were assigned. And then I would go back and look at the chapter and read those pages in the chapter that pertain to the homework problem. I hope I'm making myself clear. So don't sit there and read the chapter from cover to cover. I'm not saying that it's not important, but I'm saying it's not useful to do it that way, right? Concentrate on the topics that I'm showing you in the homework, and then go back and read those pages in the book. And if you want to use the PowerPoints, be my guest. There's a link here for Blackboard. If you have Blackboard issues, right, they show you how to deal with that. If you're having Blackboard issues, there's a phone number to call. I don't see that phone number here. See if we can find it somewhere else. I believe there's a number here. All right, you see this thing, SUNY Online Support Services Help Desk. There's a phone number here. The number is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's 1-844-673-6786. All right, so you can maybe jot that number down if you ever have issues with Blackboard. Okay. Oh, maybe it's here. Sorry. So here's that number if you needed to call SUNY. SUNY operates Blackboard. McGraw-Hill. Okay, now there's a brief video here that shows you how to register with Connect. And then I'm showing you the 800 number here, right? For Connect, which again, I'm sure you know it because you've used Connect before, 800-331-5094. If you run into any problems with the text, whether you're doing homework problems or an exam, you call the 800 number. If you have an accounting question, if you don't understand something in accounting, you get in touch with me. But if you're having a Blackboard problem, you get in touch with SUNY. If you're having a computer issue of some kind that deals with Connect, you have to get in touch with Connect, right? I mean, I don't know how to fix computers. I'm not, I know how to do what I need to make it do, but I'm not a computer programmer or repairman. So those things I just don't understand. Now, if we look at the homework, for example, you see the whole course. I should mention this. During the regular semester, I don't do this, but since we're cramped for time, I decided to do this. The entire course is open. Theoretically, you could finish the entire course today. Theoretically, I say, right? That would be a crazy thing to even try to do. But every chapter is open, but they each close on specific dates, right? So we've got chapter 1 and chapter 2. They're open right now. They close June 9th. Chapter 3, chapter 4, they're open now. They close June 21st, right, etc. So the entire course is open. Homework, quizzes, exams, everything's open. You don't have to wait. You could start working on things, any chapter at any time. I did that in case you finish early. So let's say you finish a chapter early and you want to get ahead and start the next chapter, right? You're able to do that. So here's the homework. Let's take a look at chapter 2. Okay, now yours will look like this. So you got 5 questions to answer or 5 problems to do. And notice you have unlimited attempts. All right, so this looks like, look at the requirements. And I don't know what your other teachers showed you, but whenever you're doing an accounting problem, before you actually start to do the problem, the first thing you should do is read the requirements. What do they want you to do? Because then when you go back and read the problem, you can filter things out right. Look at those requirements, get a visual image of what they want you to do, and then do it. So look at the requirements for this problem. They want you to prepare journal entries, post the entries to T accounts, and then prepare a trial balance. Right? That should be simple enough for you to do at this stage, right? And then you know how these things work. You do the entry, you record. It'll take you to the next one. Do the next entry. Notice how many entries are there? 13. All right, so you get the idea. You've done this before, or at least I think you have. Okay. The videos. Now I have to be careful with the videos. Let's see. I think this one. Yeah. Let me get rid of this. The videos, right? I'm not going to get into them now because of the issue with attempts. Well, let's take a look. Oh, somebody has started it already. Very good. I'm impressed. Right, so you would watch the video. I don't know how long it is. They're not very long. And then you answer the questions. So that's all I really had. I just wanted to go through this with you, go through the screens with you, get you used to what it is you're going to be doing, introduce myself to you. I looked at the roster and I don't recognize anyone's name. I don't know if you've been in any of my classes before, but welcome if you have or haven't been. And like I say, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I hate to say I know what I'm doing, but when it comes to this, I kind of know what I'm doing, right? So I hope you enjoy the class. It's going to be a lot of work, unfortunately, but discipline, consistency, every day, right? Every day, do something. Every day, do something. Don't wait till the last minute. That's when everything goes wrong. I don't know what else to tell you. If you have any questions for me, send me an email. And I may do videos like this every once in a while just to stay in touch. All right, have a nice day. And I'll be in touch with you soon.